I feel like every day we have something we wanted to work towards, right? Whether that be your goal, your dreams, everything comes down to it. Comes down to being your dreams, right? But when we come home from our long days at work, our long 9 to 5 jobs, putting in so much work over there, where when you get home, you don't even got time. You feel like you don't got time to accomplish your own dreams, right? You're out there making another man's dream come true, and you can't even dedicate a little bit of time to that dream, right? You come home, you lay on the bed, you get these triggers when you're in the house. You're like, oh, it's relaxation time. I'm gonna scroll TikTok. I'm gonna watch my useless content out there that won't help you out in the end, right? That's the problem, right? You gotta find a way to adjust from that. You gotta find a way to dedicate even just a little bit of time a day towards it, because something is better than nothing, and slow progress, you could bet your butt that is better than no progress, right? Even putting a little bit towards your dreams will go a long way, because you would have learned something and felt some sort of fulfillment from that, right? So, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Clyde back on the channel, and you guys, y'all know I'm back here every day. I'm coming back to you with another video, and it was kind of late. This kind of threw me off of my little habit that I was having. I usually do this around 6 o'clock after I'm done eating and all that. But we got home later because my sister and her friend and my little brother, we all want to go try out these empanadas. So if you guys want to see an empanada eating video, you could probably check out my actual channel. But Fishing Games TV, that's my OG channel. I just upload whatever there at this point. That's what I'm deciding to do. Just little vlogs and snip clips of that. And this channel's mostly for motivational content and mindset content. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from, and this is my journey in documenting me going into the Air Force, right? So initially, right, one of my biggest dreams is to join the Air Force. And why do I want to do that? That's because I want to get out there. I want to meet new people. I want to be okay, having my own place. I don't have to worry about paying for my own place because I'm in the military. They're gonna pay for housing. I'm gonna be in the dorms for how many amount of time for tech school and this and that. I already understand that, right? But once you get that option to live off base, right? You good. You live on your own. They pay you whatever they amount. They help you out with rent. I don't know if they pay fully for rent, but they help you out with rent for sure. And you get the food stipend, not food stipend, but food allowance, clothing allowance for your military gear, and all that. You live in a really good life, and after that 4 years, you're not set, but you have so many benefits. Whether it be like the VA home loan, I think that's what it's called, the GI Bill for school, right? So I want to do that just to get that kick started in my life. That's like adding perks at the beginning of the game. You have like your you get your skill points at the start of a Borderlands game that you get to invest, right? That's what I want to do. I want to get those, and I could slowly grow myself from there, because I feel like everybody's progress is different than another. And today in this video, I just wanted to talk about how and why you need to start that dream, right? How can you achieve that? How can you achieve even putting a little bit into that dream? Is just to stop making excuses, right? We got to hold ourselves accountable for everything in this life, because at the end of the day, it is you. It is you could make all these excuses like you had a bad past, you had bad relationships, this and that, but at the end of the day, life is about 10% of what happened to you and 90% about what you do about it. Something within that margin. Y'all know I say this in every video. I watch Steve Harvey, and that's one of the things he said. Something around 10% of what happened to you and 90% of what you do about it. So you can't be putting these excuses on whatever happened in your past, because you're here now. God said, God said, I woke you up this morning, so you got to be going to do something that will help you out. And through that, through you achieving your dreams, right, that God put into you, you are serving him in some sort of way, right? Everything comes back together in the end to whatever God's plan is, because God is a perfect being and God wants the best for everybody, right? So the number one thing number one thing I want to say is just stop making excuses. What are we talking about, y'all? What are we you're not making excuses to pursue that dream, and you need to stop doing that. You need to just get out of your own head. I'm here reading my notes right now. It's a simple thing of taking action. taking action. Some people say, "Oh, if you would just dedicate that time to study," and they tell you put on a timer. That doesn't work for me. I get impatient and I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to have to study on a timer because it's like, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel good to do. So how I get myself to study, right, is I try to enjoy what I'm learning, right? And you got to think about the positives of what it's going to do for you. Like some of y'all know what it's going to do for you by studying, but in the back of your mind, like a lot of thing that hurt me when I'm trying to take the ASVAB is I'm like, dang, I think I'm just going to get a bad score either way. I don't think this thing can help me. The Kaplan book can't help me. No. But no, you gotta think, you gotta trust it, right? Because when you go to, for me, I'm gonna go to basic training. Everybody goes through the gas chamber, and what do they have you do? They have you with that gear on, and they have you take it out because they want you to trust that gear, trust that process. Everything can be tied back to the Bible and God, right? God, God will not get you what you want because if He didn't give you what you wanted, if He gave you what you wanted at a time of your convenience, then you would not have faith in God, right? So what he does is make you go through these tests, these trials, and he's trying to see, hey, this kid could really do it. He knows exactly what you're gonna do, right? He knows exactly everything. God knows. God knows. But he's saying we have free will at the end of the day. So he gives you that option to go through the test. He gives you that option to go through the test. Because if you ain't gonna go through the test, then you ain't gonna get what you want in this life. That's just how it is. That is as simple as that. And the only thing that those tests do is better you. That's all it does. It just makes you a better human being, makes you a more wiser individual, makes you more knowledgeable. And when you go through those things again, if that happens to you, you'll know what to do then you'll know what to do the next time, right? So that's the number one thing, y'all. Just stop making excuses. You got to hold yourself to an accountability that everything that happens to you will not justify what you can do. Because every time you wake up on this day, no matter what anybody says, you have the potential. You have the potential, right? You have the chance to accomplish your dreams every time you wake up. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making these videos. I'm articulating and I'm manifesting my dreams through this camera talking about it cuz I like to replay these videos and listen to myself and everybody enjoys talking to themselves, but I like listening to myself to know my own thought process, right? And how I'm thinking right now so I can reflect. It's the same thing like y'all play Persona. You know, Renomami, he got that restroom at the cafe. He goes in there to reflect on his characteristics or whatever you've been through. I don't know. It's just a simple game mechanic, but I like to think of it as I'm watching these videos, I'm reflecting on who I am and what I'm thinking at the time, and I'm growing from each video, right? I'm growing, I'm helping other people out by expressing my thoughts and what I'm thinking. So, the second one I wanted to talk about, right? The second reason you need to chase that dream and how you can do it is your imagination, right? What you talk about? My imagination. Like I got things up in my head that I'm thinking about. No, no, that can't be true. No, yeah, it is true. God gives you these things in your mind, right? I sound like a cultist. I sound crazy. Some of y'all gonna think that, but it is the truth. God gives you these ideas that not everybody else will see. God didn't put it in their heads that I wanted to become the first millionaire in my family. I wanted to buy over 600 acres of land or whatever. I wanted to buy land so the next generation who, my grandkids, whatever, my kids, they have this place to know this sanctuary. And God put in my head, I want a vacation home. I want a vacation home in like the East Coast. I got it off of Summer I Turned Pretty, right? Conrad's summer house, right? Where you got the Fiji in the fridge specifically, right? Be specific about what you have in your head and your goals and your dreams that you want, right? So it's that Fiji on the side door in that vacation house, and that house is like I want that house to be a sanctuary for any one of my family members to go and feel comforted, feel welcome, to feel loved, and just best believe I'm gonna let everybody know that God did it. right? I'm gonna let everybody know. But God gives you these imaginations, like you want to become a writer, an artist. Maybe you want to become a doctor. Maybe you want to work in the corporate road. That's not for me. Corporate road is not for me at all. And you're gonna hear a lot of people on the internet say it, but sometimes you might like it, right? That may be for you. That's not for me. I wanted to be a doctor initially, but I figured out maybe all those years of schooling isn't for me, and I want to have an artistic vision and get that out there. I want to try to get something out there of what I created from my imagination of thinking and writing and how these characters react. I want to become a writer. I want to make stories, right? So that's what I'm trying to work on right now. As I'm working this 9 to 5, I'm using the 9 to 5 to fuel my dreams, to pay for my dreams, right? So you got that money. I got bills to pay. I gotta pay for the phone bill. I gotta pay for the electricity bill. I gotta pay my credit card because that's groceries. I use my Discover card for groceries because you get that cash back. Right? This ain't sponsored, but that's my like beginner card that I use. And let's see what else I pay for. I pay for subscriptions too. So like YouTube Music, YouTube Premium. That's a together bundle. It's 15.99 now. I'm like, dang, okay, what? But I pay for some of these subscriptions and I have things to pay for, right? But on the side, I'm able to save 500 a month. I'm able to buy my siblings food when they need it and they want it. I'm able to be like, yeah, okay, just buy it. I'm cool. What's the big idea, right? I'm a young dude living with my parents right now, right? I'm 20-year-old. If you guys don't know, I'm a 20-year-old living from San Diego, California, right? So I'm a big city man. I'm a big city kid, right? So that's what I know my whole life. That's what I know my whole life. And it's hard to form like a lot of times I look back and I was the only I was the only like kid my age that was part of my family. All my other cousins in my age group, they moved because of the military. One in Alaska, one in New Jersey, Georgia. Um, and I was just here alone, right? Most of my childhood. I have a cousin, but she's off in her own road on my dad's side. And we still love each other, but we never grew up to each other like grew up with each other like that. But yes, guys, God has given you these visions that not your friends won't see, your mama won't see, your dad won't see, your family won't see. Only you can see that vision, and you could only see. You're the only one who knows that is a possibility for you to accomplish, right? Right? Because other people are gonna say, "Don't do that. What are you doing trying to become this?" Yeah, look around you. You see anybody else doing that? No. But I'm like, if we have those out there, there's that little possibility that I can, right? There's that little possibility that I could become a writer, a renowned writer and storyteller, and having all these storylines and things people care about. A lot of people, a lot of people were the not Fire Emblem, what was it called? Fairy Tale. A lot of people wore the Fairy Tale logo at my middle school, and there was a Fairy Tale club, and that was big in San Diego. I see a lot of people wear that logo everywhere they go, right? What if you what if I thought, what if I could have something where it's part of my story, my character story, and a lot of people wear that. There's a club about my emblem, my clan inside the storyline. What if people can wear that and like it, right? It's that simple. The Attack on Titan symbol, right? A lot of people wear that too. Why can't I have it? That's the vision God gave me that I could accomplish. That maybe your uncle, your mom, your friends, they could shoot that down. That's why you gotta you could tell the secrets. You could not tell the secrets, but you gotta keep these to yourself, your visions to yourself, and tell it to the right people. Because if you tell it to the wrong people, they're gonna shoot it down. That doesn't mean you're not gonna love that vision still. That just means words have power, so you're gonna feel demotivated if you tell the wrong person, right? Now I'm not saying my mom, my dad, and stuff are shooting down my dreams like that. They are 100% supportive, right? Do they understand it? No. I don't think people who do content creation, their parents said, I never understood. I thought he was just making videos and wasting his time or whatever, but they didn't see that vision that YouTuber had, right? So God gives you these visions and these dreams that you want to do in your lifetime. The things you want to accomplish at the end of those, that's bigger than whatever passion you have. That the number one thing for me in this life is I get a family. I get a girl. I get a baby girl, right? Get a daughter, right? And I'm able to take care of her and watch her grow up to be a God fearing woman, a child of God, and serve God too. And believe in best believe, right? I'm gonna take care of her real good, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I gotta do, and that's what I want to do, right? So going into the third reason, and I know I was talking about anime, but you need to believe it. You need to believe it's as simple as that. The mindset, I said this in my last video. My daddy always told me everything is in the mind. Everything is in the mind. Whether you give into YouTube negative comments and people leaving hate on your video, or whether you listen to those people who leave positive ones, right? If you consume negative content, if you consume negative things and be around negative people, you will become a negative person, right? But if you're around positive people, you're going to build a better positive mindset, right? And that starts with belief. Belief in God, trust God, but the one of the most important things is you got to believe you can accomplish it. Like when you make a YouTube channel, when you make books, when you make stories, or you want to go out on your weight loss journey, want to join the military, you got to best believe it will work out. There's no other option. There's no other option, because if that's what you want in your life and you know it's for you, you got to put all your effort into that at the end of the day, right? You got to throw yourself right into that and be like, "Okay, I'm going to dedicate even a year." You guys wouldn't even know. You dedicate a year to anything, and it is genuine, like full on effort into this craft. You will get so much farther than a lot of people can, right? But it starts with the belief. It starts with the belief that it will work out, it can work out, and it will work out for yourself. Because God, if you will know when God gave you a passion, right? Out of high school, I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just like, okay, so at this point, I gotta sign myself up for doing either college or the military. That was my two options, right? Become a doctor, go to the military, because writer is how you gonna write stuff? Actor, how you gonna act stuff, right? How are you gonna get your name out there when you got so many people competing? That's not a stable income. That's scary, right? No, you gotta risk take, and you gotta really seek it out, right? Because if you really have that belief that you could do it, then you need to just throw yourself into that. And that's what I want to do, right? I'm working this 9 to 5 job just so I could fuel my dreams, right? I want to become a writer. I want to make books. I want to make stories. I want to make characters that people care about and get inspired by, right? That's my dream. That's my dream job. If I'm able to story tell, if I'm able to become a better speaker, if I'm able to create a video game, create a narrative, create works of video. I was always obsessed as a kid as with making these videos and making something funny that can make someone laugh, or just getting people interested in whatever craft that I was thinking of, right? So God gave me that dream, and for a while I put that dream to the side, right? Because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it's something that I could accomplish just because of the fear that it wasn't a stable income, right? But sometimes you got to take that foot out the door and step forward and be like, "Nah, I'm gonna accomplish that dream." Some of y'all gonna be like, "You want to join the military? You sacrificing 4 years of that dream, right?" No, because I know what's right for me, right? I want connections out there, and I know I can't get it here in San Diego because it's just different when you're in the hometown. And I feel like if I stepped out on my own and I'm out there alone without my family to lean on, I'm gonna do a lot better meeting new people, finding who I am as a person, right? I feel like we grow all the time. So finding who I am as a person, that happens all the time for everybody. You're not the same person you are a year ago or 4 years ago, whatever amount of years ago. So that's what's important to me. I want to get out there. I want to go see other walks of life, other people, other creative minds, and I might find the right people to be around. I might find my I might find my girl out there, yo. I might find it. But either way, it's just a good thing for you to get out there and you get so many benefits out of that. So that's why I want to join the military. So yeah, y'all. Whew, that one was a little longer than usual. Or I don't know exactly how long this was, but oh wow. It was actually shorter than yesterday video. Yesterday video, I had to cut a little bit of things out, right? I had to cut it. That was like a 30-45 minute video, or that was like a 35-minute video, and I made it down to like 24. But y'all know I love this. I'm gonna be back the next day. We're gonna stay consistent on the channel. I'm gonna upload every single day. And we're gonna look back on these videos and see like, wow, look how far I came and look how much I've improved and done better on my videos, right? So this is the step of the journey on my way to the Air Force, on my way of helping myself and helping others. Yeah, I watch my own videos just to get that mindset right, just to understand. And I'm sorry if I'm like sort of stumbling on my words or like speaking more softer. I have a dry throat right now. I don't know what's happening. I hope I'm not getting sick. I've been taking cold showers for the past like 3 days. Today I took a warmer shower though because I'm like, no, I think that'll activate the sickness. But my room is getting dusty. I gotta clean it, y'all. But it's like I said, it's been Clive. You guys been on Clive's channel, and I hope y'all have a great day. Have a blessed day. And remember, God will get you what you need, when you need, now you need. Whatever it is you have now, and I always love saying this, whatever it is you have now is exactly what God has given you that you need now. You have anything you have now, you're He has equipped you to follow that dream. He has equipped you to make something out of it. Cause I got a phone. I'm using that phone. I got my MacBook right here, y'all. I got my MacBook for my notes and my little setup right here. And he's equipped me with that, right? Some of y'all, even if you just have a phone, you need to get on there because that's the foundation, right? If you're on a little camcorder, whatever, like a little toy camcorder, if you're able to upload that to the internet, that is the foundation of where you will start. That's where you are, right? And that's really just the beauty in it, right? Y'all could come from nothing. I'm blessed to have this phone, right? I'm blessed to have this MacBook. My uncle got me this MacBook. I was able to pay for this phone myself. I got it on the finance right now, but I'm going to pay that off. And yeah, I got clothes, I got a bed. You got to be grateful and be thankful, right? So, any discouraging thoughts can be dispelled by simply being grateful and thanking God. So, I hope y'all have a blessed day. Have a great day. I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all, and peace.